For the first 2 years I was into photography, this is what my photos looked like. Blurry, dark, awkwardly composed. I have folders full of them. I was so frustrated I honestly thought my camera was broken, and I felt like I just didn't have any creative talent. I was convinced that great photographers were just born with a special eye that I didn't have. I was about to quit until I learned a few core secrets that nobody tells you at the beginning. And these aren't about buying a more expensive camera or memorizing a textbook. They're simple shifts in how you think that completely change the game. Today I'm sharing them with you to save you the years of frustration I went through. It's so easy to believe your gear is what's holding you back. I know I did. I spent hours watching reviews of new cameras and lenses, positive that the next purchase would be the thing that would magically make my photos better. But the biggest aha moment for me was realizing it's not about expensive gear. It's about understanding a few key principles of how an image is made. It's about learning to see the world like a photographer. So in this video, I'm showing you the 6 fundamental secrets I wish someone had told me on day 1. Master these, and I promise you will see a dramatic improvement in your photos, starting today. The first and most important secret is this. You are not taking a picture of a thing. You are taking a picture of the light reflecting off of that thing. Photography literally means drawing with light. When I started, I didn't think about light at all. I'd go out to shoot at high noon on a sunny day and wonder why my portraits had those harsh, ugly shadows under the eyes and nose. I'd shoot indoors at night, use my camera's pop-up flash, and be horrified by the flat, washed-out, red-eyed monster staring back at me. My mistake was thinking the subject was all that mattered. The secret is that light is your primary tool. It sets the mood, the texture, the shape, and the emotion of your photograph. Bad light will make a $5,000 camera look terrible. Good light will make your smartphone look incredible. So, how do you use this? First, just start noticing light. Pay attention to how the world looks in the early morning or the late afternoon, that soft, warm light photographers call the golden hour. It's magical and it's free. When you're indoors, just say no to the pop-up flash. Instead, position your subject near a window. Window light is large, soft, and unbelievably flattering for portraits. Think of your camera as the canvas and light as your paint. Before you even raise your camera, your first question should always be, where's the light and what is it doing? Understanding this is the single biggest step you can take toward better photos. When we get our first camera, our instinct is to take whatever we find interesting and put it smack dab in the center of the frame. The person, the dog, the flower, dead center. I did this for years. And while centering can work for some symmetrical scenes, it usually creates a static, kind of boring and predictable image. It feels like a mugshot. There's no energy, no flow, and it doesn't really guide the viewer's eye around the frame. The secret that fixes this instantly is one of the first rules every art student learns: the rule of thirds. It sounds technical, but I promise it's simple. Imagine your screen is divided by 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines, creating a tic-tac-toe grid. The secret is to place your key subjects or points of interest not in the center box, but along those lines, or even better, right where they cross. Most cameras and even our phones can show this grid right on the screen to help you. When you place your subject off-center, the photo immediately feels more dynamic and visually engaging. It creates a sense of balance and space that just feels more natural to our eyes. If you're shooting a landscape, try putting the horizon on the bottom line to emphasize a dramatic sky, Oregon on the top line to show off the foreground. Taking a picture of a person, put them on one of the vertical lines. It's a simple compositional trick that instantly makes your photos look more professional and intentional. Here's a painful scenario I'm sure you've experienced. You take a photo of a friend, and they look great, perfect smile, great expression. But when you look at the photo later, you see it. There's a telephone pole growing right out of their head, or next to them is a bright red overflowing trash can. The background is so distracting that it completely ruins the shot. My mistake was being so focused on my subject that I was completely blind to everything happening behind them. The secret is that the background isn't just a backdrop, it's an active part of your photo. It can either support your subject or fight it for attention. A busy, cluttered background will almost always win that fight. So, what's the fix? Before you click the shutter, take 1 second to scan the entire frame, especially the edges. Look for anything distracting. First and easiest, just move. Sometimes taking 2 steps to the left or right can completely get rid of a distraction. Second, change your perspective. Try getting lower to the ground and shooting up to use the clean, simple sky as your background. Third, if your camera allows, use a wider aperture. A smaller f-number like f1, 8 or f2, 8. This creates a shallow depth of field, which blurs out the background and makes your subject pop. This single habit, checking your background, will save you so much disappointment later. Alright, the next secret is the one that really unlocks the creative power of your camera. But I know it can feel a little intimidating at first. I promise I'll make it simple. If you're finding these tips helpful so far, could you do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button? My goal here is to simplify photography and help you get the results you want faster. It's free for you, and it makes a huge difference for the channel. Thank you. For my first year, I lived in auto mode. I was terrified of all the buttons and dials on my camera. Manual mode just seemed like something only super genius professionals could ever understand. But here's the problem with auto. Your camera is just guessing. It's programmed to get a correct exposure, but it has no idea what you're trying to create. It doesn't know you want that blurry background for a portrait, or again, that you want to freeze the motion of a speeding car. The secret is you don't need to learn everything at once. To get out of auto mode and take full creative control, you really only need to understand 2 magic settings: aperture and shutter speed. Aperture controls the blurriness of your background. Think of it like the pupil of your lens. A wide aperture, a low f-number like f1.8, lets in a ton of light and makes the background super blurry. This is the secret to that beautiful professional portrait look. A narrow aperture, a high f-number like f11, keeps everything sharp from front to back, which is awesome for landscapes. Shutter speed controls motion. It's how long your camera's eye stays open. A fast shutter speed, like 1/1000th of a second, freezes action. This is what you need for sports, kids running around, Oregon birds in flight. A slow shutter speed like 1 full second creates motion blur. This is how photographers get those silky, smooth waterfall shots or light trails from cars at night. Just know that for slow shutter speeds, you'll need a tripod to keep your camera steady. Start by just learning one. Switch your camera to aperture priority mode, A or AV. You set the aperture to control the blur, and the camera figures out the rest. Once you're comfortable, try shutter priority, S or TV, to control motion. This is the bridge from being a button pusher to being a true photographer. I used to believe that a good photo was one that looked perfect straight out of the camera. I honestly thought editing was cheating. If I had to adjust the brightness or the colors, I felt like I had failed. This mindset held me back for so long. Here's the secret. Virtually every single professional photo you have ever admired has been edited. Every single one. Editing isn't cheating. It's the final step of the creative process. It's the modern version of a darkroom. Your camera's sensor captures a huge amount of information, but it shows it to you in a flat, neutral way. The edit is where you bring your vision to life. This doesn't mean you need to spend hours creating fake-looking pictures. Basic editing is incredibly powerful. A simple tweak to the brightness and contrast can turn a dull, flat photo into one that's vibrant and punchy. Cropping a photo can dramatically fix a weak composition. Adjusting the white balance can fix weird colors and make skin tones look natural. You don't need expensive software to start. Free apps on your phone like Snapseed or Adobe Lightroom Mobile are amazing. Just start with the basics: exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, and saturation. Play with each slider and see what it does. You will be shocked at how a few simple adjustments can transform a photo you were about to delete into one you'll want to print and frame. Don't think of it as fixing a mistake, think of it as completing the art. When I first started, I would go out and shoot hundreds of photos of, well, nothing in particular. A flower here, a bench there, a cool-looking shadow. I'd come home with memory cards full of random images that didn't mean anything. This is the spray and pray method, and it rarely leads to work you're proud of. The final secret is to shoot with a purpose. Before you even lift your camera, ask yourself 2 simple questions. What is my subject? And what is the story I'm trying to tell about it? Having a clear subject is the foundation. It's the anchor of your photo. But the story is what gives it emotion. Are you trying to show the pure joy on a child's face, the loneliness of an empty street, the incredible scale of a mountain? This intention guides every other decision you make. It tells you whether to get in close or shoot from far away. It tells you whether to use soft morning light or harsh midday shadows. It tells you whether your subject should be smiling or looking off into the distance. This doesn't mean every photo has to be some profound masterpiece. The story can be as simple as, I want to show off the beautiful texture of this old tree bark. That purpose immediately gives you direction. You know you need to get close, use light from the side to emphasize the texture, and fill the frame with it. When you start shooting with this kind of intention, you stop being a passive documenter and become an active storyteller. Your photos will have more focus, more emotion, and more power. So there they are. The 6 secrets I desperately wish I knew when I started. Number 1. Focus on the light before you even think about your camera. Number 2. Use the rule of thirds to stop taking boring, centered photos. Number 3. Always check your background, it's just as important as your subject. Number 4. Get out of auto mode by learning just 2 settings: aperture for blur and shutter speed for motion. Number 5. Embrace editing as the final step of creating your image. And number 6. Shoot with purpose by asking, what's my subject and what's my story? The most important thing is to just get out there and practice. You have a camera, and you now have the knowledge that took me years to figure out. Don't be afraid to take thousands of bad photos. It's the only way to get better. The difference is that now you have a head start. You have the secrets. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful for you. If it was, let me know down in the comments which of these secrets was the biggest aha moment for you. And if you want more videos that break down photography and make it simple, make sure you're subscribed. Now go grab your camera and have fun. I'll see you in the next one.